What's good, people? What's good? What's going on? Let's get those questions in. Let's get those questions in. What's good? What's good? Let's get your questions in, peeps. Let's get your questions in. Waiting for your questions. Let's get those questions in, guys. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. What's good wherever you are? Get those questions in. Let's go. Let's go. What's good, peeps? What's good? Where we at? Leroy Smith. You know Bivol gonna win. Nah, I don't know about that, Leroy. I don't know about that. It's gonna be tough. Who's your daddy, Alba? What's going on, bro? Everything is possible. Everything is possible. It's boxing, yo. It's boxing. It's boxing. What's good? What's good? All right, we got to talk some issues. Okay, let me get this. Guys, if you want to jump on, you're more than welcome to jump on. Okay, what's been said here? Carlos Torres says, "What's up, bro? I'm good, Carlos. I hope you're well. Anything can happen. Once Canelo starts tagging the body, we shall see. Yeah, we shall see. I can't wait. I can't wait. You know, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. There's not that same hype that there is for the other ones, but this one's a more competitive fight. This one's a more dangerous fight. This is a fight that could go against Canelo. So Canelo's gonna have to be on his P and Qs in this one because this one is a tough one, a tough fight, tough scrap. Hopefully, it's a good one. Any other news? Anything else? Anoue's fighting Nonito Donaire. That's a great fight. Inoue and Donaire too. We got Inoue and Donaire too, so that's going to be a good one as well. I'm looking forward to that one as well. Great fight. You know, the first fight was a classic. Has Donaire got a little bit older? Will this one be a bit more conclusive in Inoue's favor? Time will tell on that as well because that's a great fight. Yeah, we got some big fights coming up. You know, Golovkin fighting Murata. Who do you think got who do you guys have in that one? That's a good fight as well. You know, Golovkin and Murata. That's a good fight. You know, I got Golovkin, but you know, Golovkin is old. His father time could be around the corner for Golovkin, for Gennady. You know, so we're gonna have to wait and see how Gennady looks in that one. You know, so look, there's some big fights coming up, man. We're looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing all these guys square off inside that ring, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Hopefully, be great, guys. Get your questions in, man. Get your questions in. Everyone in the stream, if you can get your questions in, get those questions in. I'm waiting for you guys to get those questions in. Let's get those questions in, peeps. Let's get those questions in. The more questions we get in, the better. Smash the like button as well, everyone in the stream. If you can smash the like button, I'd appreciate it. I thought GG retired. No, GG's fighting Murata in a unification fight. Not. He's fighting a unification fight soon. So, unknown says Bivol has great stamina. And it takes it and takes it to deep waters. Interesting matchup. Whatever the result, yeah, it's definitely interesting. Definitely a good matchup. You mentioned yesterday you were not hyped for the fight. I'm more nervous than hyped, to be honest. This is a real fight for Canelo. Yeah, it is. It's not that much hype. It's a dangerous fight for Canelo. It's a more competitive fight than what he's been fighting of late. But you know, we'll have to wait and see how this one plays out. Ben Shalom says, "Yeah, I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy. I made a video about that earlier. That you know, and I uploaded it about Kell Brook as well. Um, yeah, no, I don't want that. I don't want Khan v Marku. Terrible, terrible. I don't want to see Khan fight that level." Shakur Stevenson said, "Accolade aside, only based on Canelo is number 4. Ooh, that's a bit low, eh? That's a bit low. He deserves to be a bit higher than that. It's a bit low, man. As a tune-up fight for Khan, I don't know, man. Just imagine how embarrassing that would be if he loses to someone like Marku. That's embarrassing, you know. So yeah, I don't want that fight. I don't want Khan to lose and potentially get embarrassed, man. That'll be embarrassing. losing to someone like that. Nah, nah, I'm not up for that at all. Shakur Stevenson is a funny guy. Yeah, he is. Shakur Stevenson probably looks at Canelo and think he's fairly basic. I think that's why he's saying what he's saying. A lot of guys don't give Canelo his props. They don't seem to give Canelo his props. Khan needs to retire. What does he want? Um, Everyone around him, his bro, his wife, is encouraging him to fight on. Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Yo, even who's your daddy is coming in and saying Khan needs to retire ASAP. He's right, man. Who's your daddy Alba knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? He knows that he's out of here, mate. He's not the same man. He's not the same guy he once was. He needs boxing. He needs good boxing people around him. His dad has been saying Khan needs to enjoy. Yeah, he did. Yeah, but we don't know how much his dad has to say on his career. I don't know. Maybe it's his wife calling the shot. I don't know, man. I don't know. Isaac says, laugh my ass off. Shakur Stevenson literally gives shout outs to Southpaw 7-3 and hangs out with Jake Paul. Shakur will never be on my pound for pound list. Wow. Wow. Isaac's going in. Canelo has skills that most of these boxers lack, which is traps, feints, parries. Yeah. Yeah, you make some good points there. Canelo has great skills. That's why he's pound for pound, baby. He's pound for pound. He's got that pound for pound. Like Canelo's pound for pound. Do you know what I mean? Like pound for like he's pound for pound. Do you know what I mean? There's no doubt about it. Canelo is pound for pound. My man Steven's in the house. What's going on, Steve?
What's up with it, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Steve, man, I'm seeing you smiling, man. You happy?
Yeah, man. I'm pretty happy,
Yeah. What's good, man? What's cracking?
man. Man, just trying to catch up to speed, man. I see what y'all talking about today,
I don't know about everything, man. Everything, anything you want to talk about. I'll let you. What do you want to talk about, man? Anything you've seen that you want
man.
to?
You talking about Canelo and Bivol?
Yeah, man. Oh, that's getting closer now, man. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. I don't know what's gonna happen there, man. It's apparently Bivol's cleaning people out and sparring and stuff. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, in red, I've been telling you for a long time that
Yeah, you have been.
Bivol. I've been telling you that for a long time that he was with the business, and
Yeah. Did you say he was gonna
I
clean
just don't.
Canelo's clock? Did you say he was gonna
Yeah, he gonna
clean
clean his
Canelo's
clock, I
clock?
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I don't think he gonna clean his clock no more. But I think he gonna for sure beat Canelo.
What,
I know
Bivol?
I know everybody in the chat gonna get on me, but that's how they always
No,
do.
no, no. A lot of people think that, man. A lot of Canelo fans as well. Hardcore fans saying that they're worried about this one.
Hmm.
Yo, what do you make of
Yeah.
Shakur, man? Shakur Stevenson saying that Crawford would beat Canelo, like, if they were the same size, same weight, and saying that I'm the best fighter in the world, I'm higher than Canelo. What do you make of that? Do you think he's getting a bit ahead of himself?
Well, so if Canelo and um and Terrence Crawford the same were in the same, they were both, say for instance they was both fighting at 168 or
Mm,
154 or 147, whatever
mm,
class it is. I think Terrence Crawford has more wrinkles to his game
mm.
than Canelo, but I also think Canelo has more durability than Terrence Crawford.
You have a problem with Crawford's. I feel like you think there's something dodgy about Crawford's chin. Am I wrong here? You think that you've heard those stories that I've heard, bro,
Right,
about
right, yeah,
Crawford.
yeah. And check it out, Imran.
Mm,
We both seen them in action. We both seen them get rattled. We ain't never seen
yeah.
I'm trying to think. I ain't never seen Canelo rattle not once ever
No,
in
no,
met
no, no,
that
no,
time.
no,
Yeah,
no. He's been in there with everyone. He's got a chin of granite, man. You know who's got a good chin? You know, like good chins. When I mean like chins, I mean like this guy's got a great chin, but nobody ever talks about how great his chin is. Danny Garcia.
yeah. Danny Garcia got a he got an ironclad chin, like
Yeah,
diamond.
yo, I remember watching. I watched Garcia a little bit against Morales, but the first
Mm-hmm.
time I really got to see him, it was against Khan, and
Mm-hmm.
when he knocked Khan out,
Yep.
man, he took some bombs in that fight, man.
Just
He
a
got
bomb. Man.
he, and then you know what? The other fight that I saw, where I was impressed with Garcia's jaw, was the Keith Thurman fight.
Yeah. But Keith was hitting that dude. He was hitting that dude like a sledgehammer.
Yeah. And he took him, man. He took, and that was a close fight. That was against Prime Thurman.
That's
Prime.
yeah. That's prime Thurman right there.
And
That Keith Thurman. It ran. Check it
yeah,
out. That Keith Thurman right there. Right. That Keith Thurman he was the best in the world.
yeah, I believe, I agree, man. I think bar like Mayweather Pacquiao, obviously we can't like Mayweather Pacquiao, right? But
Mm-hmm.
apart from that, I think he was the best. I think he would have beaten all of them. I think he would have beaten Brook. I think he would have beaten. He beat Porter. He beat Garcia. I think he beats Khan. He beats all of those guys. I think.
He
I
beat
think.
Spence.
Hey, I
That
think.
that that Keith Thurman beat Spence.
Yeah, possibly. I think. Do you think that Keith Thurman beats Spence and Crawford?
Yeah, that Keith Thurman beat both of them. Beats both
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. I think that Keith Thurman was a really, really bad. I don't know what happened to the guy, man. The
Mhm.
guy just fell off a cliff.
Well, he got married, and he got married, and a lot of guys will try to, they'll say otherwise, but he lost a little love for the game, a little ambition, a little drive for the game, and in doing so, I mean, this is a game where you can't take no days off. The moment you
Yeah.
take a day off, somebody else reemerges, and that's what
Mm.
happened.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, man. He became a bit soft. That killer Thurman disappeared. I used to love Thurman back in the day. He
Hmm.
had that killer instinct. He was calling everybody out, but then he just kind of disappeared, man. That's why I
Yep.
got so much respect for like Pacquiao, Mayweather, and Canelo. They just keep
Hmm.
going, man. Where you don't see the well, obviously Pacquiao, Mayweather are finished now, but like when these guys were in their primes and stuff, like you just never saw an end. Like it just felt like these guys are gonna go forever. Like Canelo right now, you just don't think he's gonna end. Like I don't
Yeah.
see any sign of any weakness.
No. And here's the thing about Canelo that's so scary. Canelo right now, I think Canelo sat back and he listened to everybody ridicule him and everybody call him to the carpet because he wasn't fighting the opposition. Now he calling out true killer because Bivol's a killer. He calling
Yeah,
out Gennady again. He wants to
yeah.
smoke with Gennady. And he wants the business with who uh him, somebody else. He wanted to,
Better be.
better be, he talking about better be.
But I want to ask you about Gennady, man. Gennady gets a lot of stick. Like I saw Gennady, man. He's not happy. You know what I mean? He's not happy with the stuff that he doesn't get his credit and stuff. And not just that, Gennady said that this fight with Canelo, this is personal to me. Like this is serious. You know what I mean? Like this guy took PEDs or whatever, and he goes that he's basically very angered and angry. He wants revenge. Like he feels he's been mistreated. He feels he's been robbed.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Diaz said, I don't know what your take on this, that they fought Golovkin twice, but they waited for him to get old. They waited for him to get old, and now he's 40 years of age. They've aged him. You know what I mean? And Canelo's turned into a monster, and he's gone old. What do you make of that?
Well, I think Joe Diaz, man, you know what, man? Joe Diaz, he always kicks the knowledge, man. He always keep it real, man. And that's one thing I do love about him. Him and Abel Sanchez. Abel
Mm,
Sanchez also, he does the same thing. But yeah, if I was Gennady, I would be disgruntled. Y'all, everybody in the chat know how I feel about that. And Gennady was a killer. He was a true to life killer. and he was robbed blind twice, not once, twice by Canelo Saul, who won Fede Alvarez. He was robbed twice. So put yourself in his shoes, Aaron. Put yourself in
Mm-hmm.
his spot. You would be disgruntled right now if that was the business with you. You
Yeah.
be mad and upset.
Yeah, he feels his legacy has been damaged because of that, man.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um I personally had Canelo winning the second fight. I thought Bernardi won the first one.
I don't know, man. I don't. To me, it was clear concise. I saw him losing both fights, man. Both of those fights he lost.
You know, Ray actually had the first fight a draw, and he
Uh
had
huh.
Canelo winning the second fight.
But Ray's my man and
Yeah,
everything, and I love chopping it up with Ray. That's my
yeah.
dude. That's my guy. But we differ on a lot of things, and that's one of them. Because I didn't see that fight. You listen, man. Here's the thing. If I ever feel like I didn't look at a fight the right way, what I do is I look at the fight again, but I turn off I turn off the TV. I mean, turn down the sound, so the only thing I can see is the technique, the boxing technique, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to score legitimately, and that's what I did with both of those fights, and he lost both of those fights, man.
Mm-hmm.
But you listen, because you just because you stay active and you move and you dodge and you able to slip punches, that don't mean that you scoring. That don't mean that
Mm-hmm.
you scoring. That just means that you're more active, that you're
Mm-hmm.
more agile, but you ain't connecting. Gennady was connecting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
Atlas
know?
had him winning. Atlas had Golovkin winning both fights as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of
yeah.
people had. I think Andre Ward had Canelo winning the second one. Um, I don't know, man. I just feel like Gennady doesn't get his due as well. Like, because people say, who does Gennady fought? Like, who
Mhm.
the hell did he fight? Do you know what I mean? He
Yeah.
fought Canelo. Then who else? Like, oh yeah, Jacobs. That's it.
He fought Danny Jacobs. He fought a killer and Kell Brook who pushed him to the brink. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And that's another thing I got slack for. I call Kell Brook a killer, and I thought he was.
yeah, but
You don't think
not at middleweight though. At welterweight, like he fought
at
Gennady's a
welterweight?
middleweight.
Yeah, not. But you got to give him his props. You know, man, when he went up to middleweight, he was a legit contender
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least.
yeah. But that ruined his career though, man. Gennady popped his eye socket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then Earl the Truth Spence came and cracked the other one.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know, I know. That was that. You know, Errol Spence. Errol Spence, man. I don't know, like, and ironically, Errol Spence suffered an eye injury now as well.
yeah, that's
Crazy how
ironic.
things work.
All right, let me ask you something, Imran. Is Earl Spence still a killer?
I don't know, man. Well, we seen him against Garcia. It still look good, right?
Yeah, yeah, he looked real good. I got
But
I got I got I got my brother in the car. Uh, he's a true boxing aficionado too, man.
yeah,
You
yeah,
want to get on camera? He don't want to get on camera, but yeah, we that's what we do. We box.
that's it, man. That's it. You know what? I want to ask you. I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm,
There's talks about Garcia and Kell Brook. Danny Garcia, Kell Brook.
mm-hmm.
Who have you got in that one if they were to fight?
I might have to go with DG.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, man. I'd agree
Mm-hmm.
with you. I think Garcia hits too hard at this point.
Yeah,
Maybe a couple years ago, Brook might have been favorite.
right. But I think DG Danny Garcia. I think he might even stop Kell Brook.
Yeah, yeah, he would do. Yeah, I don't think Kel. Like, thing is, Garcia's got a granite chin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's not gonna go down, and Garcia can punch, and I don't know whether Kel's chin can hold up at this
Yep.
point.
And that was the same. That's what happened with Kell with Special K when he fought Earl the True Spence.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
He just
yeah.
wasn't
That
able
was
to
a
hurt.
prime. That was more a prime Kel, though, eh?
Yeah, that was boy. He was Man, I like that. That Kell Brook, man. I love that Kell Brook.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
he's
But
a
Spence
gangster.
broke him down. Spence broke him down. I
So
like
did,
that.
man. He brought
That's
that
that Spence was
that
a
Spence,
monster, man.
that Spence right there was a monster. I mean, he
Yeah.
was a monster, dude.
You know what I was thinking? You know what? When I thought Spence was gonna move up weight classes, and I thought eventually, because you know what, Floyd and all those guys were talking about a potential super fight between Spence and Canelo. That's
Mm-hmm.
what was being talked about at that point, because Canelo was at 160, and they said
Yeah.
we're gonna see a super fight. Canelo and Errol Spence are gonna get it on. Now that fight just seems ridiculous. Now, eh?
Hey man, Canelo way too. It'd be like a man in there with a little boy. Cause Canelo he's so he's so much more imposing and much
Yeah, yeah,
more, than Errol Spence at this point in time. Maybe in a couple of years there might be a possibility, but right now I think he'll stop Errol Spence.
yeah, man. But I was saying at that time when Errol was he was looking great. There was a talk about that fight, man. There was a talk, and I thought it was possible. I thought it wasn't out the equation. But
See, that's the difference between me and you. You seen and that's one of the things I love about you too. That's why you my brother. But you see you entertain those fantasy fights. I don't entertain those fantasy fights. I don't like
mm,
them. I don't
mm,
like the Gervonta Davis and
against
Keith
Thurman.
Thurman. They don't excite me. No, I don't like that. Errol Spence and Canelo. Why? The size alone separates them. No, that's not a good. I don't like. I don't get stoked for that.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It's hard to overcome that size, eh?
Right. I don't like to dream about getting paid. I just like to get paid. I don't like to
That's it.
dream about a fantasy based fight. I want to see the real fight.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Well, why didn't Golovkin fight Andre Ward then? That was a
For the
realistic fight.
that was a
Golovkin.
realistic fight. I think I don't know. I don't know what happened with that, but I think that was a bad fight for Gennady. I'm kind of glad because I love Gennady. You know what I'm saying? I love Gennady, and I don't want to see him lose, and he was gonna lose to Andre So
Hmm. Yeah, man. You know what? What about Ward and what about Ward and Canelo? How would you like that fight?
nah, I think it's another mismatch. I
Really?
think yeah, I think it's another mismatch. We've been over this 1,000 times. I think that fight is a mismatch. I think Ward has way too much experience, way too much size, and he's just he's just a overall better fighter to me. Then
Hmm.
he's a born fighter, but I think he'll school Canelo.
Hmm. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
What about the lightweights, man? Ryan, Gervonta. What about
Man,
Gervonta leaving Mayweather? Gervonta
yeah,
potentially
I heard
leaving.
about that. That's what. And you know what? That's what he needed to do a long time ago. Because if you ask me, I think the boy Floyd Money Mayweather. I think he's been holding back Davis's potential. All
Hmm.
these stupid fights. Nobody wants to see him fight Rolly Romero. That's the
Yeah.
same thing as Canelo fighting Cabo. Nobody wants to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's a terrible fight, man.
He needed to let that dude. What he needed to do, but now it's too late because Gervonta want to leave him. He want to
Yeah.
leave him like a girl want to leave a abusive boyfriend. He want to leave him now because he been abused. He done he done trampled over his career and just made a mockery of his career. So Gervonta he don't want to hear what Mayweather got to say no more. He ain't no. You see, here's the thing: Floyd Money Mayweather, there's no doubt in my mind that he's one of the best to ever do it. But he's also a clown, and he also picked fights. He was strategic in that sense. But see, Gervonta, he ain't like that because he a killer. He's a killer by nature. He's a natural born killer, and he want all the smoke everybody got to give.
Mm. Yeah, but Gervonta Davis, do you think those fights are gonna happen now if he leaves Mayweather?
Yeah, I think that.
Lomachenko,
Yeah,
Ryan
this is.
Garcia.
I don't think Lomachenko. I don't think he want to fight him though. It's gonna be
You
hard
don't
to
think?
get that fight. It's gonna be hard to make that fight.
Do you reckon?
Yes, it's gonna be hard to make that fight because Lomachenko he's gonna be reluctant to take that fight. Not saying that, not saying that that he's a duck or anything, but he's gonna be apprehensive and he's gonna go. He's gonna want to make weigh his options before he takes a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis.
Hmm.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
I hear.
I,
I hear what.
I can bet you. I can almost bet my life on that. That's gonna be a hard fight to make. It probably won't happen.
What about Loma and the winner of Haney and Kambosos? Who wins, Haney or Kambosos?
I think, man, I'm gonna go with Kambosos.
Mm,
I'm gonna go with Kambosos because Kambosos, man, listen, man, Devin Devin Haney. Don't get me wrong, I love Devin Haney. I like him, but he lacks power. He
yeah,
has
yeah.
pillow fit, and end up with a monster like George Kambosos. He ain't, George Kambosos. He ain't there to play jailhouse games. He ain't gonna play on
Mm.
jailhouse games with Devin Haney. So right now, if I'm picking somebody, who you got out that fight? You got Haney. I, I'm picking George. I got if I was to pick anybody, I pick George.
Yeah, yeah. George George is George is a
Who
good
you got?
fighter. He's a bit underrated, but Haney's favorite, man.
Yeah, who you got?
I got Kambosos as well, but the only reason I'm going with Kambosos is because of the fact that I think that because it's in Australia,
Hmm.
right? I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if the fight's close and they give it to Kambosos. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I think Haney's gonna have to batter him.
And can Haney take his power? Because we
Yeah,
seen Haney hurt before. I mean,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
ask me, I think I think uh I think George hit just as bit as every hard as Linares, Jorge.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see because that's a good fight, you know. And Haney's kind of a bit unproven at this point as well. He's still got for me
Hmm.
a lot to do. Like he's not proven yet. Do you know what I mean? He's got to prove himself for me.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like so, yeah, man. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking to better Biev and Joe Smith.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. That's a good fight, man. I think you know, I may be out of the norm when I say this. I may be a little different than everybody else, but I
Mm,
think that's gonna be a hard fight for Better Be. I think Joe Smith is every bit as every bit a tough fighter as you can throw in the ring with Better Be. He gonna push him, dude.
mm.
He
Yeah,
might
man.
even he might end up upsetting him. That's a
Yeah.
good division right there.
But what we want to see is we want to see Better Biev win that fight, and then we want to see the winner of Canelo and Bivol fight. Do you know what I mean? For the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world.
That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be diggity dope, man.
We've already got one. You know what? There's a lot of undisputed now. Josh Taylor was undisputed. Canelo became undisputed.
Yep.
What's it? Devin Haney's got a chance to become undisputed. Jamel Charlo, and Brian Castano. What a fight
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah, that's a good fight too, man. We got some good fights coming up, man.
Yo,
Word up. We
Brian
do.
Castano, a lot of people are picking Brian Castano to beat Jamel.
Because he beat him last time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He did. He
Yeah,
did. He did. It was close though. It was
it was
close.
close. It was close, but I gave that fight to Brian. I mean, come on, you had to
Yeah.
score like that. Right left, I heard.
Yeah, man. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be close. Ask your brother who he's got winning. Jamel or Castano.
Hey, who you got? Jamel or Castano? Oh, he on the phone, man.
Oh, is he on the phone?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it's a good one, man. It's a good one. That one, I'm looking forward to that. You know,
Yeah.
I've got Jamel. I've got Jamel in that one.
You got Jamel?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got Jamel too. I got Jamel too.
I like the Charlos, man. I know we got a lot of people in the chat, or a lot of people that, comment that don't really like Charlo. You know what I mean? They think they call him, you know how he says lions only. They call him pussycat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. These people, man. Some of these, woo, some of these dudes be
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
You know what? You know when? Did you see when Jamel stood up to Wilder?
Nah,
When Jamel said that, oh yeah, you know what, that you lost, man. There was nothing to do with race, nothing. You lost.
yeah,
And Wilder
yeah,
didn't like it. Do you know what I mean? Wilder said, you know what? If I see this guy, I'm gonna slap him or whatever. And then Jamel said that, man, you don't want to be doing that with me. You know what I mean?
right, right. He was like, I'm with the business. I'm from the street.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But I still look. I get Jamel's probably a hard dude or whatever, but I ain't messing around with that guy from Alabama. You know what I mean? If as soon as he starts laying close, I'm running.
Right,
You know, that,
right.
did you see that? Did you see that time when he chased Billy Joe when they were in
Nah,
that restaurant? You ain't
nah, I
seen
didn't
that.
see it. Nah, I
Basically,
need to look it up.
Billy Joe said something about Deontay, right?
Uh huh.
Corey said that, and Deontay, and basically Billy Joe seen him in Nando's when Deontay was in the UK,
Uh
and
huh.
Billy Joe went up to him. He's like, "What's up, champ?" And Deontay shook his hand, and Deontay said, "What did you say about me? What did you say about?" And Deontay got up, and Deontay was like, they were about to have a scuffle, right? And
uh,
everything kicked off. And then Billy Joe picked up a Nando's chicken and threw it at Deontay. and then
that's crazy,
and then
man.
a whole melee broke out, and Billy Joe Saunders got run for his life. Deontay's boys were chasing Billy Joe out of Nando's. Everything, the whole table, the chairs, all got thrown
Yeah,
all over the place.
that's
The
crazy.
place,
Is that on YouTube?
yeah, man, yeah, a whole uh, broke out. I was like, crap. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
man,
So
that's
you don't
crazy.
want to mess around with Deontay, man.
Nah, nah, man. But I just called in. I'm working right now. I just called in to check
Yeah.
in. I'll be keeping up with the live, and I'll check back in with you in a minute.
Cool, man. Cool, Steven. Take care, man. I'll see you soon.
All right, bet.
Cool, man. All right, guys. So let's answer some of your questions. Isaac says Bivol stops Canelo like how he stopped Joe Smith Jr. Bivol stops Canelo like he stopped No Chance. Canelo ain't no Joe Smith. Korea Mother Jeans, Canelo Kryptonite. Okay, that's tough fight. Haney can outbox, but will have to take risks to hurt Kambosos. Will open your chin in the process. That is a good fight. I agree with you. Okay, what's going off? Joe Smith gonna beat up, man. Nah, Joe Smith ain't beating up Beterbiev. No chance. Stiff body and liver punches, Bivol's kryptonite. We'll have to wait and see. You know what? I'm looking forward to when Canelo hits him in the body, how he reacts. Cause I got Canelo by KO, UD or late TKO. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's a strong possibility. Strong possibility. Canelo hits hard to the body, man. That body work of Canelo's going to be important. I want to see how Bivol can take his Canelo's power. Do you know what I mean? Can Bivol take Canelo's power? That's going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. So what you guys saying? UD sounds about right. Bivol jabs are heavy and like a missile. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying, um, a lot of people have been talking um about Bivol's jabs. Bivol. A lot of people have been saying, Bivol hits really hard. What's going on? So Robert Harrison says, no one will be undisputed at 175 until ring title is won. What do you mean by that? Ring title. Ring mag is vacant. Yeah, but that's all going to be on the line, surely. Gabe Torres says, I think Canelo works the body, slows Bivol movement and stops him late. But Bivol's herky-jerky movement will give him problems early. Yeah, possibly. What will people say if Canelo KO Bivol? they'll say Canelo is Canelo. Do you know what I mean? So Shalama says Bivol KO Canelo. No, Canelo wins. We'll have to wait and see. Good evening, Carl. I hope you're well. Nice having you in the chat. So Robert Harrison says Imran ring mag is vacant. Who goes for that? They'll put it on the line. They'll put it on the line. Once they're all the belts on the line, the ring mag will put that on the line. I think Canelo beats Bivol. We'll have to wait and see, man. That's a good one. That's a good fight. Very good fight. I don't think you. I think people are sleeping on Bivol. Bivol's a really, really dangerous fight for Canelo, man. Really, really dangerous. Canelo experiences too much. Yeah, possibly, possibly. Is a lot. The crazy thing is, this is probably Canelo's hardest fight since Triple G, and it's not really getting the hype that it deserves. Whereas Plant fight, probably because it was undisputed, got a lot more hype. Um, but this one's going to be tough. This is going to be a very, very tough fight, I think, anyway. Robert Harrison says, if Joshua wins, do you think Fury will fight him? Of course. Of course. That's $100 million payday there, right there. So why wouldn't he fight him? Why wouldn't he fight him? You know what? Joshua, right? They're talking about him fighting Usyk in Saudi Arabia. Is that them cashing out? Is that Eddie Earn cashing out? I think Bivol's jab will give Canelo problems due to height difference, but Canelo will KO him, get to him eventually. Yeah, possibly, but he's gonna have to. Otherwise, I think if it goes to points, I think it might be very close. I've predicted it all along. I think Bivol will beat Canelo. Class boxer and hard to hit and a very clever boxer. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, to be honest, Carl. A lot of people think Bivol's going to win. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Is that, Canelo's got to the stage of his career. It's a bit like Mayweather, where you're gonna have to beat him for us to believe that you can beat him, kind of thing. Because Canelo just looks so unbeatable right now that you're gonna have to actually beat him for us to believe that he can be beaten. Do you know? Fury, Rob Harrison said Fury said he's going to retire. Fury's not going to retire. Fury says a lot of things, as Hill Stewart said. Sugar Hill Stewart said no one really believes Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury says a lot of stuff and then changes his mind the next day. That's how Tyson Fury is. Tyson Fury's not retiring. I think he'll fight the winner of AJ Usyk and then he'll probably retire. Um, if he wins all those fights, what a legacy, Fury would leave if he can manage to win all those fights. I still think Usyk's a very dangerous fight, man. Usyk, I'm just such a big fan of his. I got $500 on Bivol. Any takers? No, you got $500 on Bivol? Nah, no way I'm betting against Canelo like that. Don't believe anything Fury says. Lol. Yeah, look, Ian just hit the nail on the head. Ian knows Fury. He knows Fury. He knows what Fury's like. You can't take what Fury says seriously. Do you think Tank leaves Mayweather? Well, as you heard with Steven was on and Steven said that he feels that Tank leaving Mayweather will mean all the big fights happen. Let's see. Tanks looks like their relationship's coming to an end, but we'll have to wait and see. Canelo isn't the same fighter at 175. Well, he's had one fight at 175, so we don't really know. He's had one fight at 175, so we don't really know if he's the same guy or not. We have to see more of him. And this Bivol fight will definitely tell us if he's the same fighter or not. But those guys at 175 are massive. So do you and Salman get along good? Some of your debates are heated. Yeah, we do get on good. We just have difference of opinion sometimes. I'll take the bet. Wow. You'll take the bet. Laker Raven says he'll take the bet. Who was it that was betting again? Laker Raven says he'll take the bet. We'll be close to first rounds. After the 7th round, Canelo's pressure and experience will get to Bivol, possibly. Robert Harrison says, Fury said he was going to knock out Wilder. No one believes him. Yeah, he did, but that's different. Saying he's going to retire is different. Saying you're going to walk away. Adrian says he's got Danny over got Kell over Danny. No chance. Carl, what do you think? Danny Garcia v Kell Brook. Who wins that fight? There's no way, in my opinion, that Danny Garcia gets beat by Kell Brook. No way. Garcia is still a top draw fighter. I think people are getting carried away with Kell Brook beating a totally washed up Amir Khan. Garcia's not washed up. Garcia's got a granite chin. He punches really hard. He's got great stamina. He lives the life. Yeah, I can't see Kell Brook winning that fight. If I'm honest with you, I think Garcia knocks Kell Brook out. I do. I think he stops him. I think Canelo knocks out Bivol. He leaves his hands down a lot, overhand right, then left to the body. Uh, See, look. Me and Carl always sing from the same hymn sheet most of the time. Danny Garcia will beat Kell. People are overhyping Kell's win over Amir. There you go. There you go. Exactly what I said. So Carl said exactly what I said. Amir Khan was totally past it. Danny Garcia is not totally past it. He's past his prime, Garcia, but Garcia is still a world-class fighter, in my opinion. Garcia is still a world-level fighter. You know, Amir Khan. Like, I don't even know if Amir Khan beats Florian Marku at this point. That's how much he's diminished as a fighter. Jay says, I agree. Garcia will stop Kell. 100%. When Teofimo moves up, Conor Ben v Teofimo ever when Teofimo moves up, Conor Ben v Teofimo ever happen if things go well with Conor? Well, Conor's at 147, Ian. So Teofimo's going to have to move up to 147. Conor fights at 147. Even Conor Ben beat Kell. Yeah, Gabe Torres says even Conor Ben would beat Kell. Yeah, I agree. So Carl says, does Lee Wood beat Josh Warrington? Yeah, I'd say so. I think stylistically he's all wrong. Wood can box. And he can bang, and he's big. Yeah, I think he beats Warrington, to be honest. I think, I think he beats Warrington. Conor Ben beats... Nah, what is this? Conor Ben beats Eubank. Nah, he's too big. Eubank's too big. Conor Ben's too small. Kell Brook should hang up the gloves. I've got a bad feeling hype job Conor Ben will jump in with him. Yeah, I think Conor Ben will destroy Kell Brook at this point. I think Eubank will fight Kell Brook. They're already in quite deep negotiations. Canelo keeps scheduling bum fights. Why can't he face Andre or at least a known opponent? Maybe Ward should come back over a mandatory face. Makabu over Ryder, Golovkin over Ward. No way. Who says Canelo's keep scheduling bum fights? Canelo's not scheduling no bum fights. Bivol's no bum fight. That's a good fight. It's a great fight. Is it fair to say Wood is better than you thought he was? Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I think he beats Warrington. I think he beats I think he beats Warrington. But I don't think he beats Lara though. I don't think to be honest, I think Lara might beat him more. I think Lara might be the best featherweight in the world. I would love to see Lara get in the mix, but I just think Lara's going to be avoided by everybody. No one's going to touch that guy. Okay, so what's this? Yeah, he's definitely better than I thought, though. He's definitely better than what I thought. Okay, so Isaac says, breakdown of Fury White Imran. I think White will come strong. I think White will give his best. I just think Fury will outbox him and then later later part of that fight break him down and stop him. I think White will gas. Laker Raven says, "What do you think about Plant wanting a rematch?" Yeah, there's no real excitement for me in that. To be honest, I can't. There's no real excitement in that. Ben v Ortiz is a war. At 147, yeah, I think Ortiz would batter uh Ben. Now undefeated fighters in their prime of bomb fights. Now, wow, weird take. Oh yeah, what's going on, Ben? Is it says he loves Laura. Yeah, I love Laura as well. I think Laura's a monster. I don't think anyone wants to go near that guy. Warrington owes him. Okay, title. When do you think Conor Ben jumps in with a live opponent? When Eddie Hearn thinks he's ready, I think that's when it comes out. You know what it is? Here's the thing: Eddie Hearn's under a lot of pressure. Eddie Hearn's trying to build stars. He knows that AJ's at the end of the road. AJ gets beat by Usyk. AJ is not the same guy anymore. So, what happens is then it comes down to where's his next star. Canelo does his own thing, and Canelo's in America, but in the UK, who's he really got? He's got nobody. You know. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's looking grim. It's looking bleak for Eddie Hearn. Who should Brook fight? He has options: Garcia, Ben Eubank. He should fight Garcia. He should fight Garcia. But the problem is, Burning Desire. I think he loses all three fights. I think he can only beat Khan at this point. I don't think he can beat anyone relevant, to be honest. I think he loses all three. Okay, what do you think about David Morrell? We haven't really seen a lot of him. He looks good. Morrell looks good, but we haven't seen a lot of him. We haven't seen a lot of him. There's talks of Munguia v. Jacobs. Yeah, Jacobs, I thought he got robbed against Ryder. That's a good fight, I won't mind that. I don't mind that. It's better than Munguia's not like it'd probably be Munguia's best opponent, to be honest. Why does Canelo still have the 160-pound WBC franchise? Does he? I don't know that. Does he have that still? What is a franchise belt anyway, man? It's like you don't mean anything. My mate who knows Taylor says he's been offered an Amir Khan fight. I'm waiting for the reports online. Well, I haven't heard. Like I've heard there's been rumors about Taylor Khan as well. But let's see how this develops. I don't really want to see Amir Khan fight anymore, to be honest. I just don't think we're gonna. I don't think Amir's Amir anymore. Give Warrington props. He will jump in with Laura. Give Warrington props. He will jump in with Laura. He needs to right the wrong. I don't think he will though, Carl. Will he jump in with Laura? I don't think he will. He's champion. He don't want to lose that belt. Yeah, I was watching this at the sound of Laura's punches hitting Warrington in the second fight. Yeah, it was brutal, man. Laura can really punch. Really punch. Conor Ben is not the answer for Matchroom. Well, I think Eddie Hearn is resting a lot of his hopes on Conor Ben. So he better be. Is Haney not with Hearn anymore? Of their fight deal with Top Rank? No, he's not. He's not. He's not with Hearn anymore. Apparently, Hearn said he will come back. And Andre's leaving as well. Andre's leaving as well, which is a shame. It's a shame Andre's leaving as well. Tough. That's what I mean. It's crazy times. Jacob will be drained. Garcia has enough to put a whooping on Brook. Yeah, Garcia beats Kell Brook. I think that's pretty. Do you think so? Carl says, do you think Eddie regrets leaving Sky? DAZN productions are struggling. Yeah, I agree. I don't think DAZN have the same kind of power, man. I actually don't think it's been a success at all. I don't know what people think. I don't think it's been a success. I think the Sky platform made Hearn. I'll be honest with you. I think Hearn's a good promoter, don't get me wrong. But I don't think Hearn's no Don King. You know what I mean? Hearn ain't no Don King. At the end of the day, I don't feel I feel like Hearn's good promoter, but I think he was kind of overhyped a little bit. Don't get me wrong, he's a good promoter, but I think he was overhyped at the fact that he had a massive platform, to promote his fighters, and he benefited from that. Look at Ben Shalom now. Ben Shalom, he's become huge all of a sudden, like huge in the sense his profile has increased massively because Sky is massive, man. Sky is huge. You can't like, people don't understand the kind of impact Sky had on Matchroom as a business. Sky took him to another level. But as soon as now he stepped away, the zone aren't the same. Like the Warrington fight against Martinez, my dad didn't have a clue that fight was on. But if it was on Sky, my dad would have watched it. Do you see? No one, like, on the zone, there's no advert, no matter what they do from a social media standpoint. Only the hardcore boxing fans are watching that. The Sky Sports fights, a lot of people that are just casually sports fans, because Sky Sports has so many subscribers and so many people sub to it, right? Even people that are casuals, look at the Khan Brook fight. That as a two washed up guys did over 500,000 pay-per-view buys. Do you know what I mean? Because that's just Sky Sports. That's the power of Sky Sports. Kell Brook v Danny Garcia will be at 154. Do you think it's a close fight? I don't, to be honest. I think Kell will do well in the fight, but I think Garcia will stop him. Because think about it logically, Burning Desire. Think logically, right? Garcia's got a granite chin, right? He's not Amir Khan, right? He's got a granite chin, right? He's never been down. He punches really hard. Garcia's got great stamina. He lives the life. He's always gone 12 rounds, pretty easy, right? Kell Brook's had stamina issues. Kell Brook's got damaged eye sockets. His chin at this point is questionable, right? How does he beat Danny Garcia? I can't see Kell going 12 rounds. So I can only see one winner, really. Munguia v Jacobs will not be at a catch weight 164. Will be at a catch weight 164. I hope so. I hope so. Do you know Brook, Froch, and Darren Barker helped Hearn skyrocket? Yeah, I think they were his first fighters, weren't they? They were his first big names on Sky. But at the end of the day, it was Sky that made those fighters. Sky's a big platform, big platform. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Brook will do well against Garcia. Brook, in his prime, would have had the edge. He would have been a slight favorite against Garcia. But at this point, he's not. At this point, like, think about it. If Garcia fought Amir Khan, what happens at this point? Amir Khan will get knocked out pretty bad, right? I just think Garcia. I think Garcia at this point is just too dangerous for Kell Brook. I think he punches harder than Brook. I think even in his prime, he had a better chin than Brook. I think even in his prime, Garcia's got one of the best chins in boxing, and he punches harder. So I don't see how Brook wins that fight. I think Brook will do well early on, maybe look good, but I think Garcia will nail him some point in the fight. It's a very difficult fight for Brook, but I'll give Brook credit if he takes the fight. I'll give Brook credit if he takes the fight, and if he pulls it off, what a win that would be. Danny Garcia was defensive the entire time against Porter and Thurman. Danny never been a skilled offensive fighter. No way he beat Brook, who dismantled Porter and also Spence before his eye. He dismantled Porter. When did Brook dismantle Porter? I don't know what, like, some people see things differently. Who can Brook beat now besides Khan? What's the best possible name? I don't think he can beat anyone apart from Khan. I don't. I genuinely don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think he can beat anybody. Chill. Like, who can he beat? I don't know. What do you think? Who do you think he can beat? I don't think he can beat anyone with a name. Brook v Garcia doesn't get me up watching for it. Kell Brook needs to retire. And for Eubank calling him out is simply a disgrace. Yeah. I think Eubank knocks Brook out quite badly as well. Yeah, Eubank, man. Eubank's Look, see, this is what I like. This is what I like. Carl was actually there at the fight. Dismantle Spence. I was there. You're having a laugh. Spence schooled Brook. Even my dad says exactly the same thing. My dad says Spence schooled Brook. But I don't know where people get that Spence was battering. I mean, Brook was battering Spence prior to that. What were you watching? Carl's gonna come at you now, Burning Desire, with that comment. Burning Desire, Carl, listen. Burning Desire said, I think Brook could beat Garcia, Mikey Garcia, two, Adrian Broner, Ben possibly, and Thurman maybe. Wow, wow. I think you don't realize how far Brook has gone past his best. Even those fights in his prime wouldn't have been easy fights. Bar Broner, all of those fights would have been hard. But now, haven't seen Zach Parker fight. He gives Boo Boo problems, or is it an easy fight? Yeah, easy fight in my opinion. I think Andrade will do a job on him. Salute to you. Morales v Marquez, prime for prime. Marquez, I think Marquez. I'm going Marquez. I think Marquez might have been too big, man. Needs to go for a lie down, or still thinks we are in year 2010. Yeah, needs to go for a lie down, or he's still see Carl's having he's not Mikey Garcia gets bullied against Kell Brook. Brook was doing really good against Spence in the first 4 or 5 rounds. To me, he won them relatively clearly. I don't think so though. I don't know what people see when they say that. I thought he did well, but win all 6 rounds. Nah, I'm not sure. I know we people see things differently. Mikey Garcia can't beat anyone decent at 147, too small. Brook last month just showed he still has it in him. His eye sockets, that's the concern. Yeah, he still, that's what I mean, but that's a big concern. The truth is we don't know how good Zach Parker is, but he is big at the weight. I can honestly say I don't know how good Parker is. Interesting fight. Yeah, I rate Andrade though, man. I think Andrade is gonna be too good. Crawford was looking terrible too. Yeah, but Crawford wasn't looking good against Porter as well. Porter was doing well. Skill wise, Brooks still has it. Yeah, it's just that he can't take the punches from those guys, man. Those guys will get to him. Do you know what I mean? Like Garcia hits very hard. That's a horrible fight. If he lands one, it could be game over. Very, very dangerous fights. Brook doing well, you mean surviving for the first 4 rounds before Spence took over the fight? Yeah, I'd have to agree. Like, yeah, man. I don't see where people say Brook was battering Spence. Like some people say Brook was schooling Spence. It's like, what are you watching? Like, Ray's in the house. What's going on, Ray? Ray, apparently Brook was schooling Spence, according to some people. No chance. Mikey Garcia looks like the kangaroo of the movie. Mikey Garcia looks like Mikey Garcia is a good fighter. He's not like Mikey's no bum. Nah, Spence was breaking Brook down. Yeah, I'd have to agree. All right, Ray, who wins? Danny Garcia v Kell Brook right now. Brook. So Burning Desire says Brook was winning comfortably until it turned tides from round 7. Last Bell Boxing says similar to Conor Ben, people get excited with Ugas beating an old Manny. Don't get excited with by that performance. Spence is no spent Manny. Spence will beat him in my view. Yeah, that's a good fight though. Ugas Spence is a good fight. I like that one. 140, 40, 50, 47 to 150 Garcia. I think Garcia beats Brook, period. I don't think the weight's going to make much of a difference, to be honest. I think Garcia's got a granite chin. I think Garcia hits too hard. I think Garcia lives the life. I think Garcia's got great punching power, great stamina. I think he beats Kell Brook easily. Like I don't even, I think he'll stop him. I do. I spoke to Steven earlier, Ray, and he said that I think that Garcia will stop him as well. I think he'll get stopped. I think he'll get stopped, but we'll have to wait and see. Um, so where's Ahmed's comment? Ahmed says Bivol to beat Canelo, but might not get the decision. Ooh, Bivol. Hmm. You must have been watching a different fight to me, regards to Brook Spence. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Brook has nothing left. Yes, I'd have to agree with Ray. Brook's kind of. Yeah, Ray makes a good point. I'm not sure how effective Garcia is at highway. He's never really fought, has he? At 154, but Garcia's just Garcia. You know what thing is with Garcia, Ray? Garcia's just so tough. You know what I mean? Like you can't hurt him. So I don't see Brook having the punching power to hurt Garcia at any weight. And I just can't see Brook going 12 rounds with him, like without him catching Brook with something monstrous. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if Garcia's left hook catches Brook on the eye, or like I can just see his eye. Like, I don't know. It's just Garcia hits really hard and he's tough. I just don't see how. And he's quite underrated boxer. Not a skill, but he's quite underrated. I think he's better than what he gets credit for. Look at the scorecards. What scorecard? Oh, but I don't know, man. But Kell was in his hometown as well. Garcia needs to fight more often. Much time off, but he still beats Kell. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'm not sure how effective Garcia is. Yeah, we'll have to see. Imran, get scorecards up for Brook Spence. Tell them. What was the scorecards? What were the scorecards? I don't know. I think Brook was ahead. I think was Brook ahead at the time of the stoppage as well. He might have been. I don't know. Good shout about Bivol. Yeah, Bivol. A lot of people picking Bivol in that fight. Okay, so who's your daddy says Spence wasn't landing anything of consequence in the first half of the fight. He was missing badly. I knew once Spence turned up the heat, the fight would be over. Hmm. Wow, Ahmed said Brook would beat Garcia. Dmitry Bivol is way more skilled than Jamel Charlo and David Benavides. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, Israel, I'd have to agree with that. Brook would beat Garcia. Nah, I don't see it. Garcia is slow. He'll beat Brook, but Garcia can be easily timed. Yeah, I'd agree. But Garcia's got a granite chin. That's the thing. So I don't see Brook. Brook hasn't really got the power to stop Garcia, in my opinion. So Brook defense looked great in his last fight. Come on, he was fighting somebody that wasn't fighting back. Danny Garcia washed. Danny Garcia washed. He hasn't fought since 2020. Why fight Kell Brook when you can fight Terence Crawford? Because Terence Crawford's different breed. Dmitry Bivol has fought world-class fighters like world-class boxers like Felix Vera, Sullivan Barrera, Isaac Chalemba, John Pascal, and Joe Smith. I don't know whether those are world-class boxers, bro. Sullivan Barrera is kind of like a gatekeeper. John Pascal's at the end of his career. Joe Smith, yeah, he's decent fight. He's a champion. Joe Smith is the current. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good shout. But Isaac Chalemba and those guys, man, those guys are old, man. Bivol isn't spent Kovalev. That is why they don't write Bivol off. Yeah, no one's writing Bivol off. It's just that it's Canelo right now. He's in the peak of his powers. Boxing fans here in Cali know that Benavidez put a whooping on Bivol during sparring. Benavidez will smoke both Bivol and Zudo Ramirez. Benavidez, man. A lot of people love Benavidez. I love this narrative of you make it 12 rounds with Canelo. It means you got robbed. So did Callum Smith beat Canelo because he made it to the last bell? Absolutely not. Callum Smith got battered in that fight. Canelo wins the fight, beat Bivol in 11 rounds by TKO in 30 days. We'll have to wait and see, my brother. So Burning Desire says, Brook beats Garcia as long as it goes the distance. Yeah, it would have been same for Khan all those years ago. If he had gone the distance, he would have beat Garcia as well. But it's one thing it's one thing saying it and the another doing it. Remember, Brook's got two dodgy eye sockets that are on the verge of being popped out. So it's going to be tough for Brook, man, against a guy like that. Remember, he'd be a big underdog, against Garcia, in my opinion. Salam Imran, what's going on? Salam to you as well, brother. I hope you're well. Okay, where is the evidence? What did you say? Am I the only one excited about Inoue Donaire? You know what? That's another fight, yeah, right? That's just been made that I'm not that excited for, to be honest. I think it's way past its sell by date. I think COVID really hurt that because I think that fight should have been made probably straight after or maybe a fight or two after. But I feel like Donaire now is like an old man. I know Donaire looked good against Ubali, but I don't think Donaire. I don't think like I think Donaire's old now, man. I think Inoue is gonna crush him. I do. I think Inoue is gonna crush him. I'm not as excited for that, to be honest. I would have rather seen a Nue Casemiro. I don't know what's happened to Casemiro. I think Casemiro's fallen ill or something. Bivol doesn't have enough tools in his repertoire to beat Canelo. Is that so? Is that so? So Usyk v AJ, who wins now? What do you think, Bernie? Who do you think wins? Usyk or AJ, who do you think wins? What do you think happens in that fight? My opinion on that one. What's Kell Brook? What are you gonna do? Maybe a next title opportunity? Be Crawford? Nah, he just fought Crawford. He got smoked. I have been an Amir Khan fan since I was a child, but can't support Amir Khan carrying on fighting. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page with that one. He's got nothing left, man. You know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, right? But I don't even know if Amir Khan beats Florian Marku. And I could never have thought of ever saying that, but I genuinely don't know whether Amir Khan beats Florian Marku. Imagine that. Imagine Amir Khan beating Maidana and then me saying that I don't know if he beats Florian Marku at this point. How much has Amir Khan diminished as a fighter for me to say that he can't? I don't even know if he beats Marku. I don't know if he beats I don't know if he beats Adrian Granados. You know what I mean? It's sad, really. We saw Danny Williams fighting the other day. Like, yeah, it's sad, man. These guys, man. I don't want Amir Khan to become some kind of whooping boy that everyone just starts whooping and people forget. People forget, man. People like even now, people forget how good Khan was in his prime. Like they saw that fight against Kell Brook, and they like sometimes people forget, man. They forget if you keep taking a whooping all the time. And Khan will take a whooping. If he comes back and fights, he will get beat by any top level boxer. Benavidez would be there to be counted. Yeah, Benavidez gets destroyed against Canelo, man. I don't. That's not even a question, Ahmed. Will Canelo last long in boxing with his boxing style? I think he'll decline by 35. Nah, man. I think Canelo will go on. Canelo's a machine. Canelo's a machine. Canelo lives the life as well. You know, these guys that live the life, you know, look it up, champ. Plenty of interviews out there supporting that. What? Look up what? What are we talking about here? Anything can happen in boxing, but it's more likely Canelo can KO Bivol than the other way around. I have to agree. What's next for future for Kell Brook? Maybe one more opportunity. Nah, no more opportunities. Imran, why does Gigi so much hate? In my opinion, he's a great fighter, but always people say he's overrated. People say Spence and Crawford will beat him. Yeah, Gigi's a great fighter, but he doesn't get the credit, man. He doesn't get the credit because of the Canelo situation. But he was a great fighter, without question. He was a great fighter. One of my favorite fighters. He was old in the first fight. Laughed my ass off. Yeah, what? Golovkin? Yeah, he was. But when Bivol beat Sullivan Barrera, he was a top boxer. At the time in 2018, Sullivan Barrera beat Joe Smith. And Isaac Chilemba gave Kovalev a tough fight. But that when was that though? When did they fight? Like those guys, man, they've been around for ages. What do you think Khan is coming back for? All these fights now after all these years out, is it a cash? Probably. What else can it be? It's got to be money. It's got to be like he's not gonna win. You know what I mean? Let's be brutally honest. If he fights Josh Taylor, he's not beating Josh Taylor. No way. I got Usyk. Yeah, I got Usyk as well. Who is Bivol going to KO Canelo when he couldn't KO the C-level fighters he's been fighting? How is Bivol going to KO Canelo? Yeah, I have to agree with this. I have to agree. Yeah, he's not KOing Canelo. John Pascal beat Marcus Brown and Badu Jack. And Bivol completely outboxed John Pascal. I don't know, but it's just I don't look at the guys that you're talking about like as top tier boxers. Do you see what I mean? Like Badu Jack's not really a 175 guy. Do you know what I mean? He was a 168 guy. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like those guys aren't the top tier guys. Canelo is a top tier, guy. So Bivol hasn't really fought on the level of a Sal Alvarez, not even close. So Jamal Charlo couldn't even knock out C-level boxer Montiel. David Benavidez couldn't even knock out C-level Ronald Ellis. Yeah, yeah. If Khan goes out with like 10 losses like Witter, then it probably screws his legacy. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why he needs to retire now. Just imagine if he loses to Marku. Andrade will make Canelo look bad all night. Would he? Andrade. And possibly, man. Possibly. Imran, I'm going to tell you something. Who Canelo will never fight? David Morrell. It's too early. David Morrell's still a young prospect. He's still got a long way to go in the game. The Cuban guy. What about the Cuban guy? Ricky Hatton v Junior Witter. Who would have won that fight? Probably Ricky Hatton. Witter. No, Witter was okay boxer. He's a decent boxer, but I think probably Hatton would have beat him. Andrade is pillow fisted and has a weak chin. Andrade is pillow fisted and has a weak chin. Andrade's he's never been knocked out before. Yeah, where is Little Penny? I don't know, Little Penny, where are you, man? Little Penny lives in New Zealand, so they're like 12 hours. So maybe he's just getting up. Bivol v Canelo going distance, but Canelo will get hit clean in the fight good few times. We'll have to wait and see. Marcus Brown has never been a top fighter. Marcus Brown, it's funny you say that because Marcus Brown was tempted for greatness. A lot of people thought Marcus Brown was going to be top draw, but he never kind of delivered. Bivol v Canelo going the distance, but Canelo will get hit clean in the fight a good few times. We'll have to wait and see about that. We'll have to wait and see about that. Salute, Brendan. What's going on, Brendan? I hope you're good. David Morrell is already a champion. WBA is already champion. No, he's not. David Morrell ain't no champion. Who's David Morrell beat to beat? He's not. No, David Morrell ain't champion. He's in Canelo's division, and Canelo's got all the belts. People struggle to retire even with the big money in the bank. Look at Devin Alexander, Lee Selby. These guys still fighting. Still, Devin Alexander still fighting. Who did he fight? Yo, that guy's been washed years ago. Devin Alexander was a really good fighter back in the day, man. That guy was a really good fighter, man. This guy put a beating on Maidana. He battered Maidana like nobody battered Maidana, man. He was the only guy to ever dominate Maidana. Canelo has way more experience than every active boxer. Yeah, he does. He does. And he's tough as well. Khan has been pro since 2004. He should have been retired. Yeah, that's a long time fighting, man. Imagine that. How many fighters do you know from 2000? How many fighters do you guys know from 2004 that are still fighting? I don't think there's many. Andrade has been knocked down by Vanez Martirosyan, and he also got hurt by Leon Williams. What do you think Canelo would do? Yeah, Canelo. Yeah, but who's talking about Canelo? Canelo's a monster. Okay, so yeah, he is. Get WBA belt. Look it up. WBA belt. What WBA belt, bro? Canelo has the WBA. Like what WBA has he got a regular WBA belt? What WBA belt? Because Canelo's undisputed at that weight. What's my prediction on Ray Vargas v Maxayo? I'm going Maxayo. I was impressed with Maxayo in his last fight. He did well. I'm going Maxayo. Devin lost 8 fights. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. But there was a point, right, where Devin Alexander was a monster. Devin Alexander, you know Devin Alexander? Burning Desire. Devin Alexander was a former unified light welterweight champion, and he was also a former welterweight world champion. You know, that's he from an achievements point of view, achieved more than Khan did, man. Khan was never a welterweight world champion. Alexander was. This is what I mean. Alexander was he was great, man. You sound like the guy that sent ego and don't. Okay. David Morrell got the interim WBA, yeah, interim WBA belt, bro. Interim WBA belt. That's not a world title. Devin won every round against Maidana. He played it safe and grabbed after every jab he threw. Yeah, I don't blame him, man. Maidana's nothing to be played with, right? Did you know Canelo had a draw against a cab driver, Jorge Jarres, man? You don't like Canelo that much, man. Golovkin might get beat by Murata. What do you guys think? Do you think Golovkin's gonna get beat by Murata? That's a good fight. Triple G and Amir Khan. Think that's it. I think from the '04 Olympics. Wow, are they the only ones that are still flipping hell? Wow, and he still wants to fight on. Bloody hell. Yeah, the regular, man. Yeah, but Jarvis, man, you know the regular belt, man. I don't like all those belts because let's be brutally honest, that's not a belt, man. They're just making that for more money. You know, the regular belts ain't no world title, man. It's all nonsense. Laugh my ass off. Imagine bringing up a draw from 2006. Yo, when did Canelo turn pro? Did Canelo turn pro at 2006? When did Canelo turn pro? Jarvis Smith, you say Isaac, you have started that Andre dominated Williams. You buddy just showed your lack of knowledge. 2005. Wow. Yo, that means Canelo. That means Khan turned pro before Canelo. When Canelo was 15. Yeah, you can't be bringing up a fight when Canelo was a young pup. Come on. Canelo was a welter in 2006. Inoue v Danair. Yo, Canelo, man. Canelo's. Inoue v Danair too. Yeah, and still that. I'm not that excited for that one, Brendan. I think Danair's gone old now. You know what I mean? And yeah, Danair's looked good against O'Barley and he's looked good, but I think Inoue's going to smoke him this time around. I think Inoue's going to batter him. Canelo would have knocked out Liam Williams in 3 rounds. And Canelo came off a 3-month layoff after the pandemic when he fought Callum Smith. Lil Penny, how's it going?
Hey man, how are you?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. How are you?
Good man, good. What's
You know
what's
what?
going
As
on?
I've been asked, go on. What were you gonna say, Little Penny?
I was gonna say, what are you guys talking about?
I was just gonna ask you, mate. As a Filipino,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you Inoue Danair too. Are you excited about that fight? I'm not. I think
You
Danair's
know?
gone too old.
Yeah, he is. I think Donaire gave him everything in the first fight. I actually watched that fight
Yeah.
on TV live, and I thought Donaire was gonna pull it off. Man, he got caught with a left hook, and because he didn't, and actually didn't he break his jaw or something like that? I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, he broke his eye socket, broke his
Oh,
orbital socket.
yeah, or something like that. Yeah, and not only that he recovered, he beat Donaire right by points, and
Yeah.
I thought that now that Donaire is getting older and Inoue is probably will be getting better. Yeah, I think this time Inoue will finish him off. He'll finish him off this time
Yeah.
by stoppage. Um, because man, Inoue's got power, man. Like, even though I think Inoue did catch Donaire with a body shot, and he voluntarily went down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Remember?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Inoue did catch him and he got hurt. He went down, yeah.
Yeah, I think this time around the rematch, I think he finishes him off because man, Donaire's getting old now, man. Yeah, and I'm really high on Inoue. I think he can even go to 122, maybe 126. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? What do you think about this talk about Bivol hurting sparring partners? And he's battering sparring partners, and a lot of people think that Bivol, like even Whole Diaz says that Bivol could hurt Canelo. He could stop him.
Nah, the
I don't. Yeah.
sparring partners, man. Who knows?
Who's
Like
he
they could
sparring
be.
though? Who's he
Yeah,
sparring?
I don't know. Probably bouncers from
Yeah,
nightclubs.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, man,
yeah.
is that Ash or is it Ahmed on the right?
It's Ash, I think. Yo, Ash is. I
Ash,
mean,
why are you, man? Is he there?
what's good? I can't hear you, Ash. No, no, your voice is. I don't know what's going off.
Maybe come back in. Go
Yeah,
out, come back
go
in.
off and come back. Yeah, I think his signal is down. But yeah, like Canelo fight, there's not much excitement for this fight, is there, compared to what it was for Plant and Saunders?
I think it's because it's still early on, Imran, and the fact
Yeah.
that there's just so many great fights in April that I think because they're quality fights too. Even the Fundora Lubin fight is pretty good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I think
Golovkin Murata.
yeah, that's a good one too.
Who wins that one?
No, I got Golovkin. I think it'll be a lot harder than people might think because Golovkin's old now, man. Like he's 41.
Yeah, 40. I wanted to ask you about Golovkin because Golovkin seems a bit pissed off about. He feels he doesn't get the credit. He feels that he was robbed.
Yeah, first
He was
fight.
cheated, and he feels like that's hurt his legacy. So he's got a bit.
Yeah,
He's got like this bitterness towards Canelo Alvarez. What
yeah.
do you think?
I think in the short term, I think his legacy is pretty good because everyone thought that he won the first fight. But
Mm,
in the long term, people will forget that. Like they'll just see on the box rec that that it was a draw, and he
mhm.
lost the second fight. So yeah, I can understand his bitterness.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think? Do you like whole Diaz says that what they waited for Canelo, they waited for Golovkin to get old. They waited for him to go over the hill, get to 40 years of age. He should have fought him right off the trilogy, right off the back. Um, what do you think?
Well, I do remember after the rematch that nobody wanted to see the trilogy straight away. I don't
Yeah,
remember. You probably remember that, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
then we
yeah.
had the pandemic. It was just a coincidence to me that the third fight happened when in his 40s. But to be honest, in the first fight, I do remember like people wanting that fight from Golden Boy, and then Golden Boy waited for like a year and a bit. Remember to make
Yeah.
that first fight just to see if he's slowing down a little. I do remember that, but I don't think it was like I don't think it was like a Mayweather tactic where he's waited 5 years or anything. It was only maybe a year and a bit, which is not much. So I don't really count that as a like a cherry pick per se, because Golovkin was still pretty good.
Yeah, he
Um,
was. Yeah, he was.
and it was a close fight. I thought he actually won, to be honest with you,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
first.
yeah, yeah.
And then Canelo beat him on the second fight.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it's just coincidence, man. I think it's just coincidence because, as I was saying before, no one really wanted to see that trilogy immediately.
Can Golovkin knock Canelo out? Here's the how look. I feel like if these two fought in their primes 10 times, I think it would be close 10 times.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
don't
It's
think I don't think
Pacquiao,
Canelo. Yeah, go on.
like Pacquiao Marquez. You know what I mean? It'll
Yeah,
just be
yeah,
close every single time.
yeah. I don't think Canelo could dog walk Golovkin. I don't. Like maybe now that Golovkin, if he's past it, but like in their primes, prime for prime, I don't think Canelo would ever have it easy with Golovkin, right?
I agree. I agree.
And if Canelo trades with him, if Canelo like boxes, which I think I expect him to do, I think it's going to be hard for Golovkin. But if Canelo goes toe to toe with Gennady, then we got a fight. We got a serious fight. I'm
He has
also
to do Imran. He has to do what Marquez did to Pacquiao, where he knocks him down, like just to get his attention and just to, because at that time, no one really knocks down Pacquiao. He hasn't been knocked down probably when he was still like a teenager, maybe when he was fighting in Thailand and those guys, uh, and he got embarrassed.
yeah,
So as you can see with his face, it was like smiling, right? Like when he went
yeah,
back
yeah.
to his corner. So and then in the next round, Manny wanted to get him back, which wasn't his game plan.
Mm,
Freddie Roach's game plan was just to outbox him because they knew that Marquez was already old, right? But the fact
mm,
that Marquez knocked him down, Pacquiao wanted to get him back, wanted to get his reputation back per se. So he wanted to really knock him out to the point
mm,
where he was taking any risks. And I think that's maybe what Golovkin needs to do early on. He needs to knock him down, get Canelo in a toe-to-toe battle, and then hopefully catch him. I don't know if he will, because I don't think Gennady is a counter puncher by nature. But I
mm,
feel like he has to get him on a toe-to-toe battle. That's the only way he's going to win, because if it's in Las Vegas and it
mm,
goes down to points, Canelo's going to win that. Canelo is already 2 or 3 rounds up anyway, right,
mm.
in Las Vegas, I feel, based on previous scorecards. So he has to knock him out. He has to knock him out.
You
Ash, what
know,
do you
yeah, Ash, what do you think?
Can you guys hear me?
No,
Ash
no,
is,
it's still an issue with your volume, man. Some issue with your volume.
say something again, Ash? Just to. I think it's.
No, I don't know what's up. But
Yeah,
yeah,
what do you think, Imran?
you know what? I think personally, I think Golovkin's gonna cause like it depends. I don't know. I was tricky one, but I think Golovkin's style is such that it doesn't matter how good Canelo's defense is because Golovkin will close off he'll close off all the angles, and then he puts Canelo on the ropes, right? Golovkin will land. Plus, Golovkin is quite a technically sound fighter. He's not a wild guy, so he's quite. I think it's a tough fight, but it depends on what Golovkin's got left, really. If Golovkin's got a lot left, then it could be interesting, but it depends on what Golovkin like. Joel Diaz was right. He goes, Derevyanchenko probably beat Golovkin, right? And
you could say Danny Jacobs may have beaten Triple G too.
Yeah, so like, I just don't know what he's got left. I don't know what he's got.
I don't think it's a lot, Imran, to be honest. And we're gonna see that against Murata. If he knocks him out early, we're not gonna see what he's got left because if you knock someone out early, you don't know that what tank you have left because they didn't last. I hope it lasts at least 6 rounds. I just want to see what Golovkin has got left, but I don't know. He may knock out Murata early.
Yeah, like look, I think Golovkin has to put in a great performance just to show people that he warrants the Canelo fight still, or that otherwise there may not be as much interest.
I think he's already got it, Imran. I think he's already signed it. Even if it looks bad, I think that match will still go ahead.
I'm not talking about the match. I'm talking about how people perceive the fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I still think he's got pizzazz. Imran, I don't know if remember when Pacquiao fought Marquez the 3rd time, right? I think that did 1.4 million pay-per-view buys, right?
Yeah.
And then in the 4th fight, no one really wanted that fight, right? Because everybody's gonna say, look, it's just gonna be close every time. But because Pacquiao throws more punches and outlanders Marquez, he's gonna win. He's gonna win most of these fights as well, even though it's close on the scorecards. No one wanted to see that 4th fight, right? Even I didn't. But because it's both Pacquiao and Marquez, dude, that did 1 million pay-per-view buys. Do
you think Marquez had Pacquiao's number? Because really, a lot of people thought that he won majority of those 3 fights as well.
Well, you could also say that Pacquiao had his number too. Because
Pacquiao didn't get a brutal knockout like he did at the end.
Yeah. So the first fight, right? Pacquiao really should have won that fight because the one judge had it wrong. Remember, he had it 10-7. It should have been 10-6, right? Because that changed. Because he had it as I think a draw. So. The second fight, I thought Pac won that fight because of the knockdown. I don't know. Remember that knockdown that he did like a left hook? I thought that was the difference.
Yeah.
The third fight, you can probably argue that Marquez won that fight. Although if you look at the CompuBox numbers, Pacquiao did outland him. And Marquez slowed down in the last 2 or 3 rounds. I don't know. His coach told him to dude, you've won it. Just slow down. I don't know why he did that. Kind of like what De La Hoya did to Trinidad. But anyway, that's probably the fight that I think that's debatable whether Marquez could have won that fight. The 4th fight, obviously, he won. But look, Pacquiao was just a couple of punches away from finishing him off.
Pacquiao was on I think Marquez put Pacquiao down, and then Pacquiao put him down twice as well, and then
only once. But he did get him in trouble like in the 4th or 5th round where. If he had another 5 more seconds, I think the ref was going to stop that fight because the ref was actually looking to stop it because Marquez wasn't throwing any punches anymore.
Yeah,
and Pacquiao was just going all in.
That was a serious punch, man. That was a serious punch.
Yeah.
He walked onto it as well, didn't he, Pacquiao?
Now, because Marquez kind of knew. See, when people say it was a lucky punch, like I did think at the start that it was because I'm such a Pacquiao fan. But when you look back at it, I don't think it was a lucky punch. I thought Marquez meant that punch because he's been looking for that punch probably for like 10 years, and he landed it, and good on him. But what I don't like about Marquez is he didn't give Pacquiao a rematch. Pacquiao gave Marquez rematches left, right, and center when Pacquiao was the A side. I think he should have returned the favor, to be honest.
There was some big money on the table as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, a lot. And
So
Bob Arum
why
was
did he take it? Why would he? He's a fighter. Wouldn't he
because
take
he
the big
knew
money?
that because he now that he knows that Pacquiao lost, Pacquiao was probably going to train his ass off, right, to get it back, right? And Marquez probably had nothing left. They probably threw everything in that fight, whereas Pacquiao had a lot left, as history has shown.
Yeah.
I think in the fifth fight, I think Pacquiao would have looked for the KO. To be honest,
Yeah.
because he felt so embarrassed by that KO.
Yeah.
I think that's why Marquez didn't want to. And plus, if it goes to decision in Las Vegas, Marquez would have lost that too, because Pacquiao always outlands him, because Pacquiao just throws so many punches anyway.
But
But yeah,
Pacquiao was knocked out before, though. It's not like
yeah, but that
Pacquiao
was
was
yeah, but
yeah,
that one way it was at 112. He didn't even make weight drain, and the guy
yeah,
knocked him. He didn't have any legs left, so
yeah.
those
That
were
was early on.
crazy.
Yeah, early. I think he got knocked out twice, didn't he? Early on,
Yeah, yeah. But because he's an offensive fighter, there's gonna be time where you're gonna get caught.
Of
You know
course.
what I mean? And he's such a super offensive fighter too at that time.
Yeah.
But before the Marquez KO, he was just moving forward like crazy. Kind of like an intelligent way of moving forward of what Hatton does, but a more intelligent way of doing it, like with head movement and feints, whereas Hatton didn't do any of that. He just went forward.
Yeah. Hatton got destroyed by Pacquiao. That was brutal.
Hey, bro, did you send Ash the link? Because I think Ash wanted to get in.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
He's here. I got him. Here you go. What's going on, Ash? Ash? No, he's gone again. Ash is gone again. I don't know what's. He's having some issues. Ash is having issues today. I don't know what's up with him. No, he's back. Ash? No, Ash is having issues. Andrade v. Eubanks. Who do you think, Little Penny?
Doesn't Andrade have a fight soon? It's not.
They're just saying hypothetical. If they were to fight, who would you favor?
Right now?
Yeah.
I'd say Andrade.
Yeah.
I think Andrade's got some left in the tank left. I think he's just a better fighter than Eubanks.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
It'd be a boring fight, but I think Andrade will win it by points.
Boxing scientist says Valdez will destroy Shakur. Then Shakur will cry.
No, I've got Shakur winning that fight. I think he might dominate him, to be honest. He might outbox him. Like it'll be like a 10-2 type fight. 10-2, 11-1 type fight. Yeah.
Possibly. Because Shakur's great fighter, ain't he?
He's got all the advantages, Imran. He's longer, he's taller, he's maybe stronger. He's not as aggressive, but man, that guy can box his ears off.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I have to agree with you. I think he might be too strong for him. Strong for him, too skilled for him. I think he might be. Because remember, Valdez is a small guy.
Yeah, he is. He's really a 126-pounder, Valdez. In fact, he should go down to featherweight after this fight.
Yeah. What do you think about at featherweight? We've got Lara.
I think he's the best one.
Yeah, I think so as well. Do you think he beats Maxayo? Be careful.
That I don't know, because stylistically, Maxayo can probably go fire with him. But I think Navarrete is probably more of a test to Maxayo because he's taller and longer. Even though I think Lara is probably better than Navarrete. You know what I mean? Like styles makes fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. I think
Imran, you know what? Lee Wood versus Warrington. That's a good fight, man.
I got Lee Wood winning that.
Have you? Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Where do you think that fight will happen?
They're saying Nottingham.
Is the stadium a bit small for that kind of? Maybe it should be in Manchester, like to make it a bigger arena.
I like that. To be honest, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. No, but I think the Nottingham have a good big stadium as well.
Oh,
To
do
be
they?
honest,
Okay.
yeah. Mike T says, thanks for the super chat, Mike. Says, what if Valdez fights like Chavez for Roger Mayweather?
Cool.
You know, Chavez. You know what Roger Mayweather said about Chavez? He goes, Chavez had a chin on him. He
Yeah,
goes,
he
that
did.
guy had a chin.
Yeah,
He goes,
he
he was
did.
tough.
And he was powerful too at 140.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. What if Valdez fights like Chavez? Dude, yeah, but I just think Shakur's bigger than him. Like I think Shakur's
yeah,
big.
way bigger.
And I don't think Valdez is Chavez. That's the thing.
And I don't think Roger Mayweather is Shakur either.
Yeah.
Roger Mayweather, he was good, but he like Valdez. Shakur is more of a technical boxer. Whereas Roger Mayweather was using the shoulder roll, and he wasn't that good doing it against Chavez.
He was boring though, wasn't he? Sorry, Shakur's boring though, ain't he?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, but he didn't. He wasn't boring, like because he was hearing that criticism, Imran, and
Yeah.
that the fact that he's boring, and then his last two fights were kind of exciting. That's something that Andrade didn't realize. Like when people are saying, "Dude, you're boring. Can you make your fights more exciting?" He did it in his last fight, but he didn't do like majority of his fights. Whereas Shakur, he kind of like figured that out, and then he made his fights more exciting. Whereas this one here, I don't think he needs to be exciting because Valdez will bring it to him, so he just has to counter punch him, and yeah.
Do you think Jamel he did school Jamel Herring, to be honest. He schooled him.
Yes, he did.
That was
friends,
that was quite an easy win. That, to be honest, that was an impressive performance.
Yeah, very impressive. Yeah, that's where he kind of like sold me, like because you can tell,
Yeah.
like